Dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to introduce one of the. You know when people say, "Hey, this person can English vocabulary." I actually have an idea of the topic she's going to bring up today. She's come to rattle people. She actually just flew in from Nigeria, so she might. I don't know what journey she took, what kind of flight. She might be even, more hot than usual. Her head might be in Jupiter. I don't know. Maybe she took Air Portugal or TAP, so her head might be in the sky. But let's see what she's on and let us give her a call. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Odd Thoughts. Aisha. Why are you very quiet?
Oh my god. You know what? I just didn't know the time where I should speak.
Aisha!
Anyway, I'm okay. I think I've got a cold.
I just explained in your intro that you just flown into the country from Nigeria, so
I've just flown.
you just got flued in, so they're understanding. But how are you? It's been 24 hours in this country. How are you readjusting?
I don't know, I think I've spent the last 24 hours or so asleep,
I
in
hear
and
it.
out of sleep,
I hear it. That's
and
why.
then watching Slow Horses.
Oh, this show that you've been trying. She's been trying to tell me to watch Slow Horses. Me too. I still haven't gone there because I don't know. I have a problem with Apple TV. I just they annoy me because the way
They
they
do
promote their
good
shows.
shows.
They do good shows, but they never promote them. Like no one knows what Slow Horses is. Nobody watches the morning show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
But I've heard good things about it. I'm gonna check it out. I promise.
You should.
But I mean, how was Nigeria? How's being in the UK now?
Nigeria's good.
Busy?
Yeah, it was a mixture of fun and a mixture of boring. So I got the best of both worlds.
That's what it's like, especially if you're not in the city, inside the city. When you're at home, the boredom can just hit.
Exactly.
And long day if you
And
get.
it's not a holiday for me.
Yeah, and long day if you get light off as well.
Yeah, but we've got in our house, we've got like the solar panels.
Oh, yeah, everyone's moving advanced now. First. But guys, like I explained, this is someone who can English for English. So I already said I know. I have a hint. You gave me a hint of what you're about to talk to us today about.
I did.
Do you want to take it away? Do you want to introduce what's been your odd thought of the week? I don't know if it's 2 weeks. I think I know what triggered it, but you can go into it. What's your odd thought?
Do you know what? So many things have triggered it, and I'm actually going to start by kind of tracing it back a bit.
Okay, give us a story. I love a story.
I guess my odd thought is more to do with things like, black capitalism, shiny suit. There's also a slur that I'm seeing now. Canary Wharf Black.
I can't lie to you. It's my favorite thing to come from Twitter in the last couple of months. Canary Wharf Blacks.
Yeah, I swear. I think the lighter version was shiny suit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we started with. I don't know where this variation came from. Shiny suit, I don't think it was as insulting, but Canary Wharf Black.
That one is a slur for all intents and purposes.
Go on. Right. What's your take on it anyway?
So I'm all for that slur.
Wait, that's not where I think that's not where I thought you were going.
Okay, so basically, I have a bit of an issue, or I'm not sure whether or not I'll coin it as an issue, but I think we as a collective are kind of geared to believe that, success is all about working in the city or having a certain amount of income, the 100k lot, being blah 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 blah. But which to an extent, I think it has its merits and it's valid in some aspects. But I think there's also a very dangerous line that is crossed when we talk about things which epitomize success, quote unquote. And hence why I think the whole Canary Wharf Blacks thing has come up as a kind of pushback against some of the mindsets that come out of this whole I'm black in corporate space, or I'm black and I'm a high salary earner. But once upon a time when I worked in law, in my law firm, there was a D&I event. It was Black History Month. And honest to God, I do not go to D&I events. I don't care for BAME. I don't care for black. I just don't care. And I think they're the most disingenuous things ever.
Wait. I didn't even mean to give you an explosion, but you're saying a lot. You're shooting everywhere. And I need us to slow down. I actually need us to slow down right now. Okay, I don't even know.
Okay.
Should we break down? Do you want to break down why you're anti BAME, anti DNI, anti every minorities? I don't know what else you want to add to
I
that.
can try. I still
Okay.
got my like aeroplane I've been traveling brain on. So I'm not sure how articulate I'll be, but honestly, when it comes to like DNI and black events
Wait,
in
hold on,
corporate
just in case
spaces, I
anyone
just
doesn't know
feel,
what DNI is.
oh yes, diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, go on.
And in the corporate spaces, I've just found them to be ridiculous, especially doing law. You know, they've just been so ridiculous, disingenuous, and just a waste of time. And yes, you see a lot of Canary Wharf blacks, you see a lot of silly blacks occupying these spaces
The
on the
B
panels,
on your blacks
talking.
is so strong.
Yes, I do that for comedic purposes. I
Okay,
love my people.
okay.
I just find it so disingenuous, like when it comes to certain schemes that are set up to help people and to help underprivileged Black people get into certain corporate spaces, roles, jobs, whatever. I just find it to be a load of baloney,
What
for
part
example.
what part of it? Because I mean, I have my qualms too. I find a lot of my gripes to be that the scheme it's or maybe not the it's mixed. I feel like the intention sometimes for the people setting it up is not always the most genuine in terms of
Hmm.
being for. Listen, let me be real. Everyone in this corporate thing is trying to do what they want to do to get themselves and move themselves up places in the organization.
100%.
And so a lot of the times with these organizations that were set up or like I forgot the names of them, but you have like they're not
Yeah.
societies, but they're like university societies within your
Yeah.
firms, etc., or your if you're working banking, etc. A lot of the people that are in the higher positions or are setting up these things or are doing these talks, a lot of the time it feels like it's for their own career growth, not for the benefit of the people that are actually attending.
100%.
And so sometimes when they do these things and you try to reach out to some of the individuals that are doing it, you find there's not the same when they're on stage and they're talking about you can come and talk to me and we're gonna and
Yes.
you go and talk
Hmm.
to them and you find out these people are
Hmm.
not on anything. This is just something to add to their CV, their file in the business, so that when next time a senior role comes up, they can say, "Oh, look, he's showing himself in this. He's doing." That's the biggest gripe I have with it.
That's it as well. And a lot of the time, "Oh, come and see me, message me, whatever." You end up catching airtime
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
yeah,
And to be fair, quite a lot of these people, they're busy, but at the same time, don't tell me to message you.
I hear.
If you know you're not going to reply. And there are certain organizations, one that rhymes with pair, they are example, one thing I noticed about them is that they are supposed to help underprivileged ethnic minority groups get into certain spaces like banking, law, whatever. But why are you asking for academics with straight A's, A stars? Like, who are you really trying to help? Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, if you are a top achiever in school, you have such a good chance of getting into, really good grad schemes, good universities, good whatever. Like you're kind of more or less set good. Why aren't you helping people who perhaps, for whatever reason, haven't been able to necessarily achieve the top grades, but they're still very, very capable, and
What
with good mentorship and guidance, they
do
can flourish.
do you think you're going strong? So I have to take an opposing side just for balance because really and truly, I agree with
Mm.
a lot of what you're saying. But do you think that is? Do you think? Oh whoa, no, I'm gonna remove that. Do you think? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think
Mm.
it's possible for them to coexist with other organizations that are doing more so what you are pushing, or do you think it's just flat out wrong that those because I mean you can still say that even if you get the I mean we say amongst ourselves that even if you get the top grades amongst us, there's still barriers to entry for us
Absolutely.
that are unquantifiable, like what you physically when someone that literally sees you and you're going into an interview room. So do you not still think there's value in providing this pathway to the most how do I put it I don't want to say the smartest because honestly I don't think grades are always the reflection of intelligence, but those of
I
us
100%
yeah
agree.
those of us that are able to kind of get those grades,
Mhm.
do you not still think it's valuable?
You know what? I completely agree that it is valuable. It is valuable, and of course, it helps. But at the same time, they don't level the playing. ground or field. Um, and it just still poses the question, what about the others who don't have straight A's? What about those, with B's who want to become lawyers, who want to do investment banking for whatever reason? It just told me that these careers are not necessarily that great.
Lol.
What about them? Because as a ethnic minority, low income, this, that, you want to apply for these schemes that are, advertised to help you, and they're telling you can't apply because you don't have three A's. Excuse me?
I hear it.
Like, okay. All
So
right then.
would you? This is so difficult.
But you know what?
Go on.
Just to like bounce off that point, which was actually my main point to the story.
What? Back to
Um,
shiny suit.
Yeah, shiny suit, Canary Wharf Blacks. So at my DNI event in my ex law firm, I didn't want to go. I didn't
Hmm.
want to go. I wanted to sit at my desk.
Yeah.
But then they were just like, oh yeah, just come, just come. The president of the Law Society is going to be there and she's speaking. She's a black lady, whatever.
Mm,
And of course, there's a free luncheon, and not going to turn down a buffet lunch for free.
absolutely.
So I went there, and I sat and I listened, and of course it was just as I thought it was. It was kind of watered down. I honestly also feel that a lot of black speakers water down what they're going to say to be palatable to the white space that they're actually occupying.
Oh, 100%.
I never see them come on a panel and talk facts like,
You know what's so funny in these kind of meetings? Like, even when we're running it, there's always someone there who's in a superior position, just standing in the wings, just watching. I don't know if you get what I mean, but like,
right, 100%. Even when I was there, I mean, fair enough, anyone can come, but even some of the people in the front row were some of the partners, managing partners who were like white men, whatever. But I don't know. Well, I guess whatever, have fun. But she was saying a load of stuff. She was talking about how she's done this, whatever. She's opened up a scheme that's helped a lot of black people come into law and become lawyers, and she's really proud about that. And of course, as they usually do, they give the mic to the floor. And they gave a mic to a girl who wanted to talk. And she was a trainee lawyer. I think she was in her final year or final seat. And she said that she was so lucky and she's so grateful to the lady for that scheme she done, because it helped her have access to into law, and it helped her, I think, get the training program that she was on. And then she proceeded to state that, she's so happy about it and blah, blah, blah. And I think this is far better. She goes, my mum is a cleaner and my dad literally picks rubbish off the floor. And I'm so lucky that now I'm training to be a lawyer. But the whole thing really pissed me off because the way she said it with such disgust that, she came from a low income background, her parents picked rubbish off the floor. Like, girl, that's the money that's raised you. Fair enough, you're now like in corporate, you're going to be a lawyer, but the way you talk about certain occupations other than shiny suit occupations says a lot about you. And it says that somewhere inside you, subconsciously, you perceive certain occupation jobs as less.
actually, you're bringing
And
up,
I think,
you're bringing up so much. I don't even know where to.
no, I'm just like, it's troubling. It's troubling because I don't know, the way she said it was really degrading. I'm not being funny.
I think that's the
She
point
said it
that,
was such
yeah.
grim. Like, my dad literally picks rubbish off the floor. And so somebody has to, occupy that space. Somebody has to be in that job. And so what if he picks rubbish off the floor? Like, what now? Because you're typing on your computer doing contract, does that make it better?
I think there's balance. I think because of the way you've described the way she spoke about it is what makes me cringe. Realist of real, no one's going to aspire for their child to come and tell them that that's the career they want to do, because
100%.
it doesn't. Well, first of all, naturally you just think it's not hygienic. It's something that people in general look down upon, but the salary is not necessarily.
Mm.
Honestly, actually, to be honest, the salary is higher than a lot of like retail jobs, simply because no one wants to do those roles. But we look at
Mm.
it a certain way just because, like, if your daughter comes to you and tells you she wants to be a litter picker, you are going to scream. But there's a balance, because I'm never going to publicly. I'm not. First of all, I'm never going to sit in a room and speak about my parents' backgrounds in a negative way for the benefit of
Exactly.
other people in the room to say, "Wow, look where I am now."
Look where I
Because
am now. Yeah,
because
that's it.
first of all, there's even levels to where my parents came from in the first place to get to this country to have the job
100%.
that is paying for me
Exactly.
to be in the house I am and live the way I am, for me to be in this
Exactly.
room in the first place. So that whether I think that career is whatever, it's part of the reason I'm here. So to sit in a room and let
Yeah.
people kind of be like, "Oh my god," and look where you are, wow, look what your
Yeah.
parents.
Wow. Like happy
Yeah,
story.
it's I get what you mean in that sense.
No, and it's not me being like strict. It's almost like I do understand that, it's a great thing and it is an achievement to improve your socioeconomic standing, have that kind of upwards mobility, have a high earning income, career, whatever. That is a good thing and that is a blessing. But again, certain things that we say reveals a lot about how we think about ourselves and how we think about others. And we with the Canary Wharf black stuff,
Mm.
black Tories, all of that, it starts from there. These kind of conservative attitudes, shiny suit attitude, it starts from how you view yourself and how you view your job and how you view other people who may not be of the same social standing as you, may not have the same type of career as you. And I think sometimes it just gets really toxic.
I hear you. Well, did you actually see the origin of the Canary Wharf Blacks? Because I didn't. I saw the fallout, but I didn't see what started it.
You know what? I definitely believe I did, but
You can't
I
remember,
can't remember. So much stuff happens on Twitter. It definitely has
bruv.
something
I
to do with
know.
classism.
I saw.
100K, somebody's earning 250K. Let me even find it.
Yeah,
Perhaps
I'm
I can
trying to
even
look.
find it. But honestly, I think that it's such a good slur. I love it.
Oh, okay. I've seen it. I think it's to do
Ooh.
with Chris Cabba, which we will absolutely not be touching on. But it's one of
Oh,
them accounts. I've seen this account before, but basically they said these Canary Wharf Blacks are the funniest people. They think they're exempt from police brutality because they wear gilet and carry briefcase jokers. And I'm assuming that
right.
he's saying this in response to a certain type of people who, on the Chris Cabba situation,
Yeah, I saw that as well.
were talking disparagingly
Exactly.
because of his circumstance or where he's from or what he was
Yeah,
involved in.
I saw that.
That
And I think that circles back to my point though, because I think just because yeah,
gone.
just because you're from like a different socioeconomic background, well, I guess quote unquote a lower one, it doesn't mean that you can't perpetuate classism and things like that.
Mm,
And I think that's kind of what that whole discussion was given. It had this really like classist rhetoric to it too. You know what? I was scrolling as one does, chronically scrolling online,
hmm
and someone tweeted that you're gonna laugh when I tell you. The fact that I've never been to Ghana or Nigeria is crazy
Oh,
to me. God, there are so many ways we can look at this tweet. I can dissect it in at least 3 different ways.
Ash, I'm scared.
I'm scared too.
Go ahead.
Do you know what? I'm going to start with the most, I don't know how to describe it. Okay. To an extent, one can infer that she was strategically positioning herself.
Angling.
Yes, someone will now jump into the DMs and be like, oh, so you've never been to
Oh,
Lagos
madam,
before.
pray this
Let
load
me
for
put
you.
you on a flight.
let me, let me, let me unheavy this burden for you. Ah,
Yeah. You want to go to Accra? Hey.
small thing like that.
Yeah.
Look at you. Let me make sure this one we can deal with.
Yeah. And that is so possible. And, I don't want to make any assumptions, but it's a possibility that was at play. Okay. And
Yes.
then my second point, which I think is my most annoying thing, is that I just hate I hate Dirty December.
Yeah, you've said this to me before.
I hate Dirty December, and I hate the way culture is engaged with during that period. It's very inauthentic, and it's just annoying. And the people who come over from the diaspora to Accra, Lagos, they're almost like mini gentrifiers. And I don't know. I think there's a wide discussion to be had regarding Dirty December and how people engage with Africa during that time and the effect that they have on their respective cities that they go to. And then I think the statement, which was funny, is her saying the fact that I've never been to Ghana or Nigeria is crazy to me. I mean, I think someone said, "Why is it crazy to you? Are you from there?" And I do agree with that.
I mean,
Because why is it crazy? Like, if you're not from there or you don't have any like solid associations, it's not really crazy. I get the whole like sentiment. Oh yeah, I want to go to like me, I want to go to like Senegal, but I don't ever think, oh my God, it's crazy.
I hear it.
I haven't gone already.
I think her intention with the tweet or I'm actually not her intention, but what it's hard to talk about because I don't know what she was going for. But you could look at
Neither
it
do
like
I.
she's saying these places have become these big tourist destinations
Hotspot.
specifically for black people, and I
Mm,
haven't been, and I should be among. But I want to dive into your Dirty December thoughts
mm,
because I do feel like it's gotten a bit icky
yes.
of recent. Like even with
Mm,
this whole thing with like these celebrities like
yeah.
Kaisana and Drewski and
Yeah.
Ruby Rose now and all these people. The OG was actually, what's that girl's name? Do you remember Bria Miles?
I don't know. Her name doesn't even ring a bell for some
She's just
reason.
she's a looker. She's an IG girl, but she was one of the OGs that used to like. She was going to like Ghana, Nigeria way before because obviously she was getting something out of
Okay.
it before they became a thing.
Mm,
But I just think it's become quite icky.
agreed.
Specifically in that way. I guess you can widen it out to yes, us everyday people, but
Yeah.
especially with the celebrities. Sorry to say, but Black Americans, there's this
Mm,
transactional relationship with
very
with our
transactional.
countries that is a bit. I don't know what it is because prior to this, or a few years ago, we would be advocates of wanting our people to come to our countries and explore the culture, blah blah blah. You
Mm,
know, come back with people will be like, this is where, these are the countries you originated from. Come back, explore the culture, go on holiday to black
mm,
countries. You know, we'd be promoting all that, but it's become to a place where, and it's probably our fault as the diaspora, where we've pushed certain aspects of our countries to the forefront that now there's this icky transactional relationship that people want to come and benefit from, whether it's
mm,
parties or those unserious guys that have ridiculous amounts of money that are willing to spend it on foreign. I don't even know what to call it, but do you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. I also kind of hate this weird, ugh, like this kind of anti-poverty content where it's kind of like people come and these are actual proper diasporans who are associated with their roots, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, see how people are living in Lagos, see how people are
Oh,
living in Ghana with our big houses, with our." Excuse you, does that
I
even represent the majority of the population?
I absolutely hate those videos, and I think
It pisses me off.
there's so okay. So there's people like Vanessa Camby and Wadi Maya who I think are doing a good job, but
Oh,
I
I
think
love
that
what they admire.
yeah, I think their intention is to show there's an alternative. Wadi Maya, for example, when people come to Ghana, he doesn't just take them to these big houses or show off these. Like
Mm,
he goes to places that, and he'll make you eat foods that
yeah.
are completely uncommon. Whereas there's this kind of, it's from our generation and it's from more so from the diaspora where they go to these ugly, gaudy, gold and shiny hotels or houses in Ghana and Nigeria with the most flashy Gucci tiled floors and
Versace prints.
do you know what I mean? And they'll come and say, "Come and see how we're living in Ghana. This is the real Ghana you don't get to see." Excuse me.
The real one.
Excuse
It's
me.
crazy because it's not. It's not the real Ghana. It's not the real Nigeria. It's not the real Lagos. Like, it pisses me off. Like, it's almost propaganda.
I want to ask those people, like, can we go to your grandma's house right now? Can we go there? Let's.
Absolutely.
Can we go
But do
and
you know
record
what's
it?
the? You don't need to go to your grandma's house. Leave. Walk 5 minutes. Drive 10 minutes. You'll see people sleeping on the
Honestly,
floor.
cross the road. Ugh.
Exactly. And it's just so annoying because I think it's so like deflective. I think it's so like disingenuous. Fair enough, you can carry your pounds, your dollars, whatever it is that you have, and you can enjoy yourself in these countries because, I've said it so many times. Nigeria is only, you can only enjoy that place with money because it will
Mhm,
insulate you from all of the other craziness. And it is crazy out there.
mhm.
It's not necessarily the safest place. Money is what will allow you to have a bit of peace of mind. Even that, I've always said, even if I go and live there, it needs to be rotational, please. Let me
Mm.
come back to a sense of structure.
Yeah.
And, you know, people will carry big cars, do this, G-Wagon this on the roughest roads. People are begging. Children aren't even in school. They're knocking on your windows. They're hawking goods. Let's be sincere and genuine right now.
It's
You
true.
don't need to do, oh, yeah, this is how people are living. How are they living? They're not living well. And I think that all falls like part of the pool of why I hate Dirty December, you know. And it is very transactional. It is all about aesthetics. There isn't like, it's just so, oh, I don't know how to explain it.
It's tough because even as I speak to my friends, the friends that I went with, the friends that or friends that in general like normally go back to Ghana in December, everyone treats it completely different to like 3-4 years ago, because now it's just like
Really.
people don't want to go in Christmas anymore because it's just become,
Too packed.
it doesn't even feel like a Ghanaian thing anymore. It's just
Yeah.
it's a diaspora hub during the month of December.
That's for a hub, yeah. And you know what? It's funny, and a very annoying thing that came out of it as well was that people will come online and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got my braids done for basically, I don't know, let's say £5."
Three
But then
pounds,
you'll
yeah.
get some other people who say, "Oh yeah, that's very wrong of you as a diaspora, and you shouldn't go and do it for £3. You should tip them and give them £1,000 instead."
And then people always, it's to and fro, because people then come back to those people and say, well, you are showing these people money they don't have, so now they're going to increase the prices for the tourists that they know are going to come and pay those prices and screw over the
And
local
the
people.
locals, apparently,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, exactly. But now the locals don't have the same establishment to go to because their hairdresser's up now. So now she's
Yeah.
abandoned them. So
But it was really annoying. Like, it was such an egotistical thing to come up with, saying that, you know what, you should be paying them more. And you know what, I am not against a tip or, adding a little bit on top. But you trying to say that, oh yeah, you should now be paying basically the prices that you would pay abroad or something similar to that here because you can. I don't necessarily agree with that.
no, I don't. I will
Yeah.
tip you when you've done more than what was necessary for your job. I'm not going to tip you for doing
Exactly.
what you were paid to do. You get what I mean?
And you know what? Just on like the poverty porn, I don't know how I randomly coined that. Anyway, just on
That's the
that
thing.
whole like, you know what? I don't think poverty porn was even the thing I was going for, but the whole like, oh, see how we're living. Even when I was in mine, I took the train from the city I was staying in Ibadan to Lagos, and honestly to God, you would see people making homes or flat out sleeping on the tracks. And for me, it's quite hard to stomach. To an extent, I'm desensitized to it because I've seen it a lot. I've experienced it. Not, I've seen it. But sometimes it's hard to see the fact that people are truly just suffering. Like, sometimes you see them and it's just they almost appear as void. Like there's really nothing in there anymore. And I get it. And these are societies where dog eats dog, you know?
I have
Um
I have a similar example to that. Like I remember the first time I went back to Ghana for a long time, and I was in the car with my cousin, and you probably have the same thing in Nigeria, but there's non-Ghanaian. I don't know if they're Lebanese kids or like Mali kids. I can't remember. They look,
mm,
but they're a bit fair-skinned. Obviously, they're not native Ghanaians. I
yeah,
can't
I
remember what
know.
country
Yeah,
they're
I know.
from, but they hang
Mm,
around not far from the airport, but like in the city. And oftentimes, when you stop in traffic, they will like rush your car, and they'll be asking for X and Y and K and Z. There's
mm,
a popular place in Ghana called Bloomba. They often hang around like on the streets because they know that the tourists are coming, and then they'll come and like rush you and be asking for money. And I remember one of the first times I was like reaching into my bag to go, and I mean even that whole thing of like people in like when you go back to a country, someone's gonna ask you for money, and
yeah.
me having not been to Ghana for so long, I was very willing, but then my cousin was like, "What are you doing?" Like he's so
Mm.
desensitized that he was like, "I like man, like move, like get off my car."
That's like my mum and dad, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For them who experience it so much, it's probably become an annoyance. But for me, that was going back. I'm seeing these people foot bottom dirty, clearly don't have shelter.
Hmm.
They're asking me for money. I have. What? Why are you stopping me? But from their perspective,
Yeah,
this is an everyday
exactly.
thing I see. They're so desensitized. It's like, please get off my vehicle and let's be moving. Don't open the window because you're just going to attract more people. And it's so mad that we've reached that place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's crazy that we've reached that place. And I just don't even know what to say. I hate Burna Boy.
Hold on. If anyone knows Aisha, please. I don't even know if you have one of those videos on your TikTok. But this, when I said she can English for English, anyway, have you put out your Burna Boy one?
I haven't put out my Burna Boy one. I
Okay.
will be doing a Burna Boy one soon.
Soon coming, she'll drop
But
her essay on Burna Boy. But carry on. What about him? Are you going to talk about him
I just
flinging
feel
the
like
money on the floor with Steph London?
yes, I'm gonna talk. Do you know? I feel like I can't talk about wealth disparities and things like that without somehow mentioning the fact that I hate Burna Boy and I think he's a fakey. I think he's everything that's wrong with Nigerians.
Ouch. I can't touch that one. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to give us your spiel before we close it out.
I just think that he's someone who benefits of wealth quite clearly. But the thing is, in Nigeria, when you've got money, you're good. You can be an absolute tyrant. You can take the piss. You can take the piss in the policing. You can take the piss in the judicial system. You just can take the piss. You can be as absolutist as you want. No one's going to catch you. And Burna Boy has spent at least a good part of his career, and at the point of his come up, basically positioning himself as this guy who's very socially conscious. He doesn't like tyranny. He hates corruption, but he benefits off that same system. He benefits off that system. And I really don't like that. I really don't like the way he tried to market himself as a guy who's, anti-corruption, anti-whatever. Yeah, I hate him.
And now him and some of his fellow compatriots are above Afrobeats, so they can't eat.
Oh,
Please don't.
I forgot about that.
I'm not even going to allow you. I'm not going to allow you to even step there. If you want to hear more, I'm going to put Aisha's ad on the screen. She's got TikTok. She makes videos on like Nigerian culture.
What would you do if your wife was pregnant and you wanted to use the car, but your mother was in the kitchen cooking yam?
She makes videos on anything that's kind of you're better at speaking about it than me. Promo yourself.
Am I? I write and I do video essays, and largely they are about Nigeria, their reflection, or it's my kind of analysis on society, social matters, pop culture, and of course that extends towards like the Black diaspora and how we all fit into that puzzle. But yeah, I tend to pick things apart culturally, socially, and analyze and discuss those topics.
Love it. Can we expect a YouTube channel soon? A YouTube launching?
Yes. By December.
Oh.
Or January 2025.
Okay, calm, nice. Thank you. Guys, please give it up for you're gonna be here a few times just because I know you can English, but please give it up for first time odd thoughts giver. I don't even know what to call you. Aisha Fone.